Artificial insemination failure in cattle can cause serious setbacks for both farmers and veterinary professionals in the field of cattle breeding. But what are some of the unnoticed errors that fuel this puzzling problem? Join us as we embark on an exciting journey into the frequently disregarded errors made by farmers and veterinary professionals. We untangle the complex web of mistakes that unintentionally prevent cows from becoming pregnant after artificial insemination, from poor timing to missing indicators. Gain expertise, arm yourself with useful information, and protect your animals from unforeseen occurrences. Prepare to travel the perilous landscape of bovine reproduction like never before. Tonight on AgriBusiness. In the picturesque landscapes of Uganda, where agriculture plays a vital role in livelihood of many, a remarkable technique is revolutionizing livestock breeding. We trekked to Gomba to find out how artificial insemination (AI) is paving the way to enhancing genetics and increased productivity, but also why the artificial insemination fails.
Artificial insemination, this is the process whereby semen from a male animal is introduced into the reproductive system of a female animal using artificial means. Which artificial means am I talking about? This is the inseminating gun. This inseminating gun is what we use to introduce semen, because we just introduce is coming like from one area to another. It comes from this area, we introduce it into the female reproductive system of a female animal. Artificial insemination, in most cases, what do we basically deal with when we are dealing with artificial insemination? Artificial insemination, we basically see that the animal, first of all, the animal has to be on heat before we do artificial insemination on that animal. And the animal has to be a female animal, because you cannot inseminate a male animal. Of course, you can inseminate a female animal. So it has to be on heat. So how do we detect that this animal is on heat? And if it is on heat, when are we supposed to inseminate the animal? So the process of artificial insemination starts as follows. We get one arm like this one. Then you enter the arm through the rectum, because the rectum, according to the anatomy of the animal, the rectum is located just above the vulva. So you get the arm, you enter it or you insert it into the rectum. We call it rectal palpation, that you enter the arm into the rectum. Why do we pass the arm into the rectum? Because the rectum is a little bit large, and the rectum is located above the female reproductive organ. So when we get the arm into the rectum, we are able, when we get the arm inside, then we start swinging it downwards. When we swing it downwards, because the female reproductive system outside, it starts with the vulva. From the vulva, you enter, the arm goes into the vagina. After the vagina, there is a suffix immediately after the vagina. So the arm goes through the rectum, you locate the cervix, because the purpose is to locate the cervix. You cannot locate the cervix when the arm has just passed through the vulva. So after locating the cervix inside, then you get your gun. The gun comes, the cervix is already located, because the semen has to be deposited on the cervix. We don't deposit the semen on the vulva, we don't deposit the semen in the vagina, we deposit the semen on the cervix, or not on the cervix, in the cervix. Because when you deposit the semen in the cervix, it goes directly into the uterus. When it goes into the uterus, it channels itself to the fallopian tubes, because the female reproductive system, it is of this nature. These are the fallopian tubes. Then here, this way, they are the ovaries, where the eggs are manufactured from, the ovaries. They come, they follow the fallopian tubes. When they follow the fallopian tubes, fertilization only takes place through or inside the fallopian tubes, not in the uterus. And it's one egg or it's one fallopian tube that releases at each time. If this one releases, this one does not release. Then this one releases on another time. So when the egg comes into the fallopian tubes, some people call it the oviduct, the semen comes after you deposit the semen on in the cervix. It comes, it enters up to the fallopian tubes, then fertilization takes place from the fallopian tubes. Someone will confuse you that fertilization takes place in the uterus. No, it takes place in the fallopian tubes because this egg takes 24 hours to mature. It moves from this side, then it takes 24 hours to reach. But when the 24 hours come, it would have reached the uterus. When it enters the uterus after 24 hours, even if you inseminate, it does not get inseminated. That's where we get that the egg, when it has passed when it is after the 24 hours, it is encroached in the corpus luteum. It's a yellowish covering that covers the egg after when it has not been inseminated or serviced. We use the word serviced. When the animal has not been serviced, the egg will be covered in a yellow outing called the corpus luteum. That's where the egg will be encroached, then removed. In human beings, that's when you will see the blood will be shedding out, but in animals, we don't shed out blood. Then after, when the egg has been, when they have met, the semen has met this one of the female, they come into the uterus where growth of that fetus, where the fetus grows from into the uterus, there is a hormone that is responsible where it will secrete the endometrium. This endometrium is called, or in simple terms, it's the lining whereby this fetus will be growing from inside the uterus. So the artificial insemination, when you insert the inseminating gun through the vulva, you deposit the semen on the cervix, the process will go on and it will be done. Sometimes it may fail, but sometimes it may not. It depends. Because I told you insemination, for the animal to come on heat, yes, today it has come on heat, but that heat will only spend 24 hours. So when you inseminate after 24 hours, automatically the animal will not conceive. You know the animal that is on heat after the animal has released a mucus discharge from the vulva. When you see that mucus discharge from the vulva, just know this animal may be on heat. But if it's the first time for the animal to come on heat, it must at least be 1.5 years. Then it comes on heat. At times, these animals on heat also lose appetite. The animal will not be eating. These animals on heat, they keep on mowing every now and then. It's a sign that the animal is restless. The animal keeps on jumping. The animal goes on and mounts other animals as a sign that it's showing you that it is on heat.